Man, that Kageyama development was something else in this episode of Haikyuu. Him actually admitting in his mind, like, how he subconsciously changed what he was doing, and in a way he kind of acknowledges Hinata, and he's like trying to train himself to be better. Just that development, it's just so grand. It's such a huge stepping stone for him with this training arc. And then Hinata, with how he got so upset when Kageyama started changing and didn't give the tosses that Hinata wanted. It was just so great to see how this episode of Haikyuu is done. And I gotta say, this arc of Haikyuu has been a blast. Just seeing all these characters, each like individual character have their own little time to shine and grow and become better players. It's been so fun to see that. And I have to say, I feel like this is one of the reasons why I love Haikyuu so much. Is because you're able to get close to these characters, understand what they're thinking, and able to root for them when we finally get to matches. You're like, hell yeah, go, Kurasa, no, you know, we'll be doing that type of shit. And to see this, I can say right now that this episode was a wonderful way for me to just end the day of anime on. Like, I mean, this is like my final anime to see for today. A great way to finish the day off with Haikyuu, because this right here was so damn enjoyable when I saw how Kageyama's trying to become better. Now, one thing I want to point out, though, with this episode, there's a lot of mixed emotions going on with a bunch of characters. You have Yachi, she's starting to understand how fun it is to be a part of the club, and how she's starting to kind of fit in. You also have it where she's kind of misunderstanding the relationship between Kageyama and Hinata, and how they kind of interact with each other. She's like, wait a minute, is their relationship getting worse? Like, she was asking that in this episode, and it was actually just Hinata and Kageyama having their own way with words, and their own way to kind of enforce that they believe in each other. And to see how Yachi was starting to understand that was quite great when it came to this episode. And then also seeing, like, the other developments going on throughout this episode with other individual characters trying their hardest to get better. And then also to see how Hinata was able to knock back that ball. He learned about rebound. I mean, there was some good stuff, and I cannot wait to see how great Hinata is going to be in a real serious match. Like, I cannot even wait to see how it's going to be, because with all this development going on in this arc, especially what we've seen with this episode, just this episode alone, and how much they have changed since the start, damn, they're going to be fucking monsters, because we already get to see some of the people that Kurasano has been fighting the entire time in this training arc. They actually say in this episode, a couple of them, they say like, oh, I don't like fighting Kurasano, like, they're so unpredictable, which is pretty damn scary, because, I mean, if you look at the win and loss chart that we saw, like, if I'm correct, if I'm recalling it correctly, it said Kurasano only won 3, and I think they lost 61. I could be wrong, don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it said. But if that is true, and they lost that many times but only won that, and you still have it to where a team is saying, like, they're so unpredictable, that is actually a good thing, because that means that Kurasano, the enemies they fight, they don't know what to expect. They're like, okay, so are they going to be doing this way, or going to be using this pattern? How are they going to come at us next? And so, if they're very unpredictable, it makes it to where they don't know if they can win or not. And even if they constantly lose, for instance, Kurasano loses, they don't know if they could still win, but even if they have a bad record, because if they're unpredictable, they can just come out of nowhere and fucking destroy you. So you always need to be on your guard, which adds another layer of tension onto the battleground, or, you know, the volleyball match. So, one thing to actually look at, too, we also get to see how the opposing team, Nekoma, how they're really looking at Kurasano at this moment. You have to where the coach wants to see a reenactment of the garbage dump fight. He wants that to happen once again, where Nekoma versus Kurasano, or the cat versus the crows. And this is something very emotional, because I can understand where that old man is coming from. I mean, if you've wanted to see, like, this dream match for a long time, like, it's been a very long time, and, you know, your school's kind of fallen out of grace, and maybe, you know, Kurasano's also fallen out of grace, or not as good as they used to be, it would be kind of sad if you saw something like that. And then to see how they're finally making their way back, and how you can have this, like, dream match probably before you retire, it would be a dream come true. I mean, imagine this, okay? You're an old coach, you've been teaching this volleyball team for years, and you have this rival to school, and they constantly are going up against you to go to nationals or something, and then all of a sudden, one day they just drop off the radar, and they're no longer your rival. It'd be pretty damn depressing, because human growth, you grow as a person, like in sports or something, because of competition or rivalry, and if you lose that rival, you kind of lose that initiative or motive to continue striving forward and trying to better yourself if you don't have something like that. And that's kind of what the main focus also of this arc has been, how our team of Karasuno is growing because of a rivalry. So, yeah, I mean, this episode of Haikyuu Season 2, pretty damn good. I loved it. I love the meaning of it. Cannot wait to see where it's going to go next week. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please be safe. Chibi out.